So, Nigel, moving into 3 pre-season friendlies now, starting on Saturday against Titans, how important are these 3 games in terms of your preparation for the competitive season start?
They're very important. Obviously, planned well in advance, and the level of competition as well was planned to a certain extent. The Titans game is an opportunity really for a lot of the players who have come into our squad for the first time this season to have a run out. They've trained particularly well, and there's a few exciting talented players in there that we're looking forward to seeing how they perform in a competitive environment. Rotherham will be very structured, they're very physical, and they certainly will challenge us. But what's important from our point of view is that we underline the work that we've been doing in the pre-season with a good first step performance at Parker Scarlets here. And one of the things we're very keen to do this year is to build a winning mentality, and that really comes through many things, but most importantly through actually winning matches. So the group that will take the field on Saturday will be fully aware of that, and as much as we're still trying combinations out, we're still looking at evolving our own game, we're still making sure that our players get up to the level of condition that they need to start the league season. It's still very important that we've got this winning mentality.
So quite an intense pre-season training conditioning. Boys ready for a game now?
Yeah, they are. It's been good for us. We built a lot of momentum off of last season. Fundamentally, we changed quite a lot in our game this time last year, so there's a lot of work to get through in that pre-season. What we've been able to do this year is to build on that good work and work on a lot more detail around the players' skills and decision making. And it's been a very good pre-season, so we're quite a way in advance of where we were this time last year, and we are absolutely ready for this fixture. An
opportunity for our supporters to come and see some of the young players that are coming through. Any names that we should be looking at in particular?
Well, there's lots of names, probably too many to mention, but if they come to this match, they're certainly going to see 1 or 2 players who I think are going to be key performers for us in the future. A couple of them are already in our academy, but there's a couple of players that we picked up in the pre-season period as well, who maybe our supporters won't know so much about, and they are very exciting, I have to say. We've been very pleased with the way that some of these people have performed. A couple of them have actually given up their jobs for the opportunity to do a pre-season with us and get some game time early in the pre-season phase, so that they can prove to us that they're worthy of becoming Scarlet. So from our point of view, it's fantastic that people do that.
And what do they bring to the group in terms of the mix with the more senior players as well?
They bring a great energy, there's a huge desire. I think a lot of people have recognised what we did last year in terms of bringing a lot of talent through, and they want to be part of that. And it's been interesting, towards the end of last season I was getting a lot of phone calls from people out there who I didn't know, who were suggesting players who maybe we should be interested in, and we brought a few in, and a few have shown up very well for us, and we're quite excited about some of them, and we'll just see. I think my gut feel would say that a lot of the players that are going to play on Saturday have got the potential to go much further.
And you follow that up with a training week out in Clermont. It doesn't get much bigger than that for some of these younger players as well. A game against Clermont on Friday night.
Yeah, that's very important for us as well. I think this first fixture, as I said, is more of an opportunity to see some of the players from our academy, and also players who we brought in with a mix of experience as well. When we go to Clermont, obviously it'll be about being a little bit more restrictive in our selection and getting closer to the starting team for the season. But it's also a week away for us to do a number of things, intensify the training for one, with complete control of the players, but also to spend a bit of time away from the rugby environment with this group, so that they get to know each other, they bond a little bit better away from the rugby environment. And it's a team sport at the end of the day, and if people have got an empathy and a feel for people around them, they tend to work harder for each other, and that's the aim of the overall camp.
Starting the competitive season early September with a home game against Rotherham, are you thinking about that now? Are you planning for that, or are you just literally looking at these next 3 games?
There are a number of levels that we look at it. Obviously, I have to have a broader perspective of things as well. I'm quite clear of exactly what we need to achieve throughout the season to get to our end objective and goal, which in the league is obviously to finish in the top 4, and in Europe will be, like everybody else, to get into quarterfinals. So that doesn't change. And I think if you asked any team involved, they'd say exactly the same. But it doesn't mean very much. And what we have to do is focus on each game as it comes, be completely clear about what we're taking into those games, and build, as I say, a winning mentality. And it's something that I'm very keen on this year. I think we've got a lot of rugby in us. But what I want to see is us bring far more intensity to games, and also be far more competitive throughout the side, to make sure that we're on the park to win games, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And I think we're ready to say that now about this group of players, because we've built this team up over the last 2 to 3 years. Okay, we'll be without quite a few of the players that have helped us over those couple of years, but I think now is the time where we've got to turn our potential into something a bit more.
Obviously, there's a lot of talk about the World Cup and the build-up to it. First of all, just a quick word on Morgan Stoddart. What's the latest on his injury?
Well, Morgan had a double fracture, his fibula and tibia, which is quite a nasty injury. Although there wasn't much displacement of the bone, which is a good thing. He's had a pin put in one of his bones. The healing process is anything from between 5 to 8 weeks before we expect him to be able to play again. 5 to 8 months, before we expect him to play again. So it's not great for us, it's not great for Morgan, but within the rugby environment, professional game, we know that we're going to carry anything up to 20% of our squad being injured at any one time. So it's something that we planned for, we prepared for. Not ideal, never is, but these things happen.
And a lot of your backline are going to be obviously with Wales. How much of a hole is that going to leave you with in the beginning of the season, or you're not even thinking of it like that?
No, not really. We anticipated that we'd have most of our backline away for the World Cup, which will certainly be the case. But it's a great opportunity now for the players who've come in to put their hands up, in order for them to really show us exactly what they've got. They've not only got to be training at this level, but they've got to be playing at it. And that's what they're going to have the opportunity to do. And the challenge for them, quite clearly, is to make sure that when the other players come back, that they're not shoo-ins back into the team, and they know they've got that opportunity now. They've got the shirt, they have the shirt, so it's their chance to take full advantage of it, and I hope that some of them do, and I'm sure they will. So
a great opportunity for our supporters to see some of these new players coming through on Saturday. It's also Dav Jones's testimonial. Quick word about that as well.
Well, Dav has been a fantastic servant for this club, and anybody associated with it, either as a player, manager or supporter, will appreciate Dav, his passion for the club and what he's given to the club. So I'm sure everybody would want to support Dav.
Well, all the best on Saturday, and good luck in Clermont as well.
Thank you.